There he is. So I'll call to order the Rosemount City Council regular meeting for Tuesday, April 7th, 2020. And I understand there's 5 or 6 scouts joining this meeting from Troop 207 from St. Joe's. Normally, I'd have them lead us in the pledge, but I think, Logan, you are going to put up a background for us, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance together.
Yes, sir. Give me one moment. You see that? Okay.
So if we'd all say the pledge, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I have to work on that one.
Yes.
Well, I would like to read a statement before we begin. In response to COVID-19 pandemic, in order to practice social distancing, all city council meetings will be held virtually until further notice. We'll be using a platform called Zoom. The platform is free to the public and can be accessed via computer, laptop, tablet, or phone. Citizens can watch and participate in a variety of ways. For specific details to participate in this meeting, please view the calendar page on the city website. If you are participating online during the meeting, you will have the option to use raise your hand feature so that staff can call on you at the appropriate time. When you enter the meeting, you will be asked to register, entering your name and email address. Please enter your first and last name so that moderators can call on you to speak. This information, along with your address, will be required at the start of our public comment. Should you call into the meeting, you will be placed into a waiting room. This is to allow staff to moderate how many people can speak at once. After you are done speaking, please choose the Leave Meeting button or hang up the phone. You may continue to watch the meeting on TV or online. And with that, I don't think there's anything that needs to be added, Logan.
No, sir.
So we'll move to the first item, approval of the agenda. Are there any additions, changes?
Not at this time.
So if there are no changes, Aaron, would you take the roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Weisenthal,
Aye.
Councilmember Black,
Aye.
Mayor Drosty,
Aye.
Councilmember Essler. Councilmember Essler, you're muted.
Aye.
Councilmember Fresky. Aye.
So motion carries 5-0. The agenda is adopted. We do not have any presentations, so we'll move on to public comment. Anyone wishing to address the council may do so at this time. Logan, are you coordinating this? If anyone,
Aaron can let us know if we've got anybody that's raised their hand or reached out.
At this time, we have nobody, but give me 1, 2. At this time, nobody is looking to speak.
so since we have no comments, we'll move on to the consent agenda. First of all, are there any items any council member would like pulled?
I'd like to pull 6G.
I'd like to pull 6E.
Any other items? If not, would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda
moving 6E commissioner appointments and 6G youth commission appointments.
I'll second it. Second.
Oh, wait. We have a motion on the floor, Councilmember Block's second, Councilmember Essler. Any other comments? If not, please take the roll.
Councilmember Black,
Aye.
Mayor Drosty,
Aye.
Councilmember Essler,
Aye.
Councilmember Fresky,
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenthal.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0, and we'll now move down to item 6E, Commissioner appointments, and I'll turn this over to Councilmember Fresky.
I wanted to pull this item because we recently went through the process of interviewing several residents to be part of our volunteer commissions and appointed several of them to the commissions. Logan, did you want to take this one?
Yeah, I hope we can see my screen there. I just wanted to pull up a chance for folks at home to see the folks that are about to get, if council were to move ahead with the recommendation, get appointed to various commissions. And so, as Councilmember Fresky mentioned, we did have a wonderful turnout of residents looking to participate in our volunteer commissions. We had about twice as many applicants as we had spots to fill. So much appreciate folks reaching out. It was a great sign of civility and civic duty. And actually the council did make a decision, as you can see here, to expand one of our commissions. The Utility Commission will go from 3 members to 5 members, and the council will be seeing an ordinance change to change the Utility Commission's ordinance at an upcoming meeting. But for the sake of recognition of these folks, I'm going to go ahead and read their names here. Andrea Schopp is appointed to the Park and Recreation Commission for the first time. James Bonkowski also to the Park and Rec Commission. John DeBettingus to the Park and Rec Commission. Chris Hondel, a new member and a new seat on our Utility Commission. Scott Zolke, a new member and a new seat on the Utility Commission. Vanessa DeMuth, returning. She's our current chair of the Utility Commission. Brent Marlowe, appointed to the Planning Commission. Melissa Kenninger, our returning chair of the Planning Commission, is reappointed. Kim Cerisi, appointed to the newly established Environment and Sustainability Commission. And Kristen Andrews, appointed to the Environment and Sustainability Commission. So with that, I can turn it back to you, Councilmember Fresky.
Thank you. Are you ready for a motion, Mayor?
I am.
I will make a motion. Hold on 1 second here. Technology. I'll make a motion to fill the commissioner vacancies with the appointments that Logan Martin has outlined. Do you need me to read them again?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
Yes. Second.
So we have a motion on the floor, Councilmember Fresky, second, Councilmember Weisenthal. Any final comments? Seeing none, please take the roll.
Mayor Drosty,
Aye.
Councilmember Essler,
Aye.
Councilmember Fresky,
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenthal,
Aye.
Councilmember Black.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0, and congratulations to all of the residents. We look forward for your advice as we go throughout the next few years. That concludes 6E. We'll now move to 6G. I'll turn over Councilmember Weisenthal.
All right. I would have Mr. Logan, if Mr. Martin, if you can call up 6G on the screen.
You got it.
It's with great pleasure I serve as liaison to the Youth Commission, and we had 14 individuals this year applying. 9 of those are current youth members returning. We only had 1 senior this year graduating. So the motion will follow after I've read these the following names to these individuals: Maya Bauman, Claire Chumbley, Haley Gallagher, Aislinn Halla, Joseph Henkemeyer, Abby Kettinger, Jacob Kettinger, Akina Laurent, Rachel Lehom, Kate Nozel, Olivia Passeri, Sonia Ramish, Jenna Standing, and Audrey Stenger. So then I'd like to move the motion to appoint those following individuals to the Youth Commission for 2020-2021.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor. Councilmember Weisenthal, second. Councilmember Block, any final comments? If not, please take the roll.
Councilmember Essler,
Aye.
Councilmember Fresky,
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenthal,
Aye.
Councilmember Black,
Aye.
Mayor Drosty.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0, and congratulations to the 9 returning and 5 new youth commissions. Hopefully we'll have a lot of activities for you to provide advice to the council in the coming years. So with that, that concludes the consent agenda. We do not have any public hearings, unfinished business, or new business, so we'll move on to announcements. And I'll turn this over to our city administrator, Mr. Mark.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just a quick update from staff tonight. As you can imagine, and folks at home could imagine, a large majority of our focus, as in any of your organizations, has been on the COVID pandemic, and we continue to react quickly to this ever-changing challenge. And just want to provide a couple of updates for the benefit of the public on the city's current status with the COVID pandemic. I won't get into the stats. I think you're seeing stats as well, both on the media. And then I would encourage folks, we have a really interactive portal that our GIS team has put together that allows you to track nationwide stats, local stats, and the state government has released a nice website as well that allows you to track statistics. So I won't talk stats or where we are at, but I will say your city government is absolutely continuing to operate. We are fully open. We are largely working remotely. As you can see, both council and staff are remote tonight. There are a smattering of us that are in City Hall every day to continue to provide essential services, but by and large, staff has been able to adjust and remote into networks and desktops and work from home. And so we are tracking staff hours and productivity, both for our own edification and also to know for reimbursement someday from the federal government, which we have heard potentially could be forthcoming as this situation is declared a national disaster. We're seeing good productivity out of staff, namely a couple of buckets. Certainly public works continues, police and public safety, of course, fire continues. But our building inspections department, permitting department is still absolutely fully busy and operational. We actually, of note, had a busier March 2020 than a March of 2019. And we've also, in the first few days of April, had 5 new homes applied for even in April. So building and construction has been deemed an essential service. And I should take a step back. Local government in general has been deemed an essential service. So then we were given broad latitude from the state government to decide inside of our operations what is essential. And we thought in a fast growing community like ours, it's extremely important to keep inspections and permitting open, along with certainly all the other administrative tasks that your government is continuing to do. I would like to just report and kind of applaud residents on behalf of the chief and our public safety team. We're seeing significantly reduced traffic on the streets. You may have seen MnDOT statistics are showing about 70% reduced traffic on Minnesota highways. And so we're seeing that as well on our local streets. And so thank you to the residents for following the social distancing guidelines and staying off the streets. We're also seeing reduced fire and in some capacities reduced police calls, which again shows that folks are staying home and staying safe. So thank you for doing that. We'll continue to encourage social distancing on the parks and trails. It's been a beautiful day today and many beautiful days, and we've seen busy trails, which has been awesome to see. But again, remember that unfortunately at the moment our playground equipment themselves are deemed to be closed. The virus has been proven to grow on plastic and or live on plastic, and so out of caution for the short term, our playgrounds are closed. We look forward to opening them as soon as we can. The parks and open spaces are still open, but please do practice social distancing. We need to avoid the pickup basketball games and those types of things, baseball games. We've pulled tennis nets and volleyball nets down just out of an abundance of caution. And so just again, encourage folks to continue to help us and help your neighbors as we all combat this pandemic. But beyond that, I'm just happy to report that we're staying very busy as your city staff and still here to serve. So please don't hesitate to reach out, give any of your staff a call, apply for permits, do those honey-do lists while you're at home and seeing that bathroom you'd love to get remodeled. We're here to accept your permit. So with that, Mayor, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you. Before I go over the calendar, I will say one additional item. I'm going off memory. I think it was April 4th. Census results nationally was approximately 44%. Minnesota was 54%. And Rosemount, we were about 64%. So we still need everyone to report. The Census Bureau delayed their follow-up schedule where they will be going door to door in various places later this in May and June. But 74% is a good number at this point. Please remind any neighbor in case they lost the postcard to go online and record their data. So upcoming on the calendar and all these meetings will be via Zoom. So if you'll go online off our website, you'll be able to get the information. The Planning Commission will be meeting on Tuesday, April 14th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. The Utility Commission meets on Monday, April 20th at 5:30 p.m. And then the Environmental, Port Authority, and Council all meet on the 21st with the Environmental and Sustainability meeting at 5:30, the Port Authority at 6 p.m. And our next council meeting will be at 7 p.m. on April 21st. And with that, I want to thank you. This is a little unusual. But I think let me see, we didn't have any mistakes except for Paul's mute button. But beyond that, I promise not to say anything about that, Paul. So I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.